Nailed it.
Hey, I'm Bob.
I'm Jake.
This is Nailed It, the podcast. Today we're sitting with our good friend and local musical guru and overachiever, Ed Allison of Lyndhurst.
All of that tracks.
Hello, Ed.
Hello.
He's starting to get the rundown, kind of like Sean Evans in Hot Ones.
Oh, yeah. Everything. Oh, look, I host trivia like 2 times a week. Everything just becomes the same 60 words over and over.
Right. It's all about the patterns.
Yes.
So, you we'll get right to it. So, your band Lyndhurst, give us the Cliff Notes version of how that band came about and where you're at now.
Yes. So I used to make music just under my name, Ed Allison, and I'd been doing that for 2 years or so before I wanted to. I decided to, it would just be better to have a band behind me because I was just performing with myself and backing tracks or occasionally a live drummer. So I reached out to some friends of mine. I had known Kevin, who plays guitar, from playing with him in Y2 Kids. So I asked him. Tim, who plays bass for us, had come out to see an Ed Allison show before and said, hey, if you ever do a full band, you need a bass player, I'll do it for you. And so I said, hey, I'm taking you up on that. And we had another drummer that we had with us that I just posted on Facebook and asked around. He did one show with us where we did a bunch of modern pop punk covers, and we were practicing all the time. And he lived up in Duncannon, which is kind of a far drive from where we were practicing. And he was young. I think I
remember him.
Maybe was just 18. So
good drummer.
He was
a good drummer. I remember that.
But he couldn't make the time commitment and the travel work. So I went to Facebook again and was like, hey, we're looking for a drummer for this project. And Tanis Pellegrini from Lasciate and Lives Lost said, hey, Mark's your guy. If you're looking for a drummer, I know Mark is really good. So he's got to be your guy. And that's how we are where we are today.
Now, was Kevin always in Y2 Kids?
So Y2 Kids has a very. We started out as a grunge project.
Okay.
Mostly because Lewis wanted an excuse to play songs by Soundgarden and Puddle of Mud, and that was basically it. And so that was myself. It was Lewis. It was Ethan, who plays with us. It was, Oliver Sipe and Bobby Frailer. So yeah, so we became Y2 Kids pretty shortly after that, but pretty shortly after that, Bobby left, and because I think I was playing guitar at one point in that band too, and then Oliver left. So when Bobby left, we were like, oh, why don't we just have Kevin play? Because Kevin was playing with Lewis and Y2 Kids, or in From Dawn Till Death.
Okay,
and Nate, our first drummer, or our old drummer, I guess I should say, not our first drummer. I'd known from being in a band with him for a long time in high school. We were in a high school band called Bored Out of Our Minds. We were not great, but we got much better towards the end of it. But yeah, I was talking to him about something else because he had played in a couple other bands. I was like, hey, do you want to do that? And he was like, yeah, sure. So that's how Y2 Kids started. And now Nate left about a year ago at this point, but now we've got Hunter Reiner playing drums for us, and we've been doing this for 6 years now, which is crazy.
Yeah, the reason I asked that was because when I had first met all you guys through Lyndhurst, and then I had seen you with Y2 Kids one time, and I wasn't sure if Kevin showed up after Lyndhurst
what came first.
Yeah, what came first.
So technically, From Dawn Till Death came first.
Okay.
He was in From Dawn Till Death, and then Lewis was like, hey, you're playing in Y2 Kids now, and then I said, hey, you're playing in Lyndhurst now.
He was Volun-told.
So, yeah. Oh, yes. 100%.
Volun-told. I like that. I think we just found our episode name.
Volun-told. That's the story of my life.
Which, that reminds me, I wanted to send it to you, but I thought I'd save it for the podcast. 2 years ago today, we announced the very first Nailed It show with you and me
at Union House.
Well, it was you and me initially, and then Ken got added
"Can
later.
I play too?" Sure, buddy, you come on up. And I think I even told him, I was like, "I'm not paying you." I mean, we paid him.
Yeah,
but I was like, "Yeah, you can come drive an hour away and set your stuff up, but I'm not paying you to be there, Ken." I just like to give Ken shit, but we've all played with Ken. So
oh yeah, Ken was one of my drummers that I had for an Ed Allison show. Yeah, I think he played that show at HMAC with me, the Tim Caton song.
I'd hate to say on recorded media, but Ken's a really good drummer.
Oh, absolutely.
People just don't expect that from him. He's sometimes inappropriate with his jokes, and
No,
Well,
not
but he's
Ken.
like one of the nicest
What?
dudes in the world.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
and people just don't. I don't think people have seen him do what he's capable of. He spent so many years doing the stuff in Short Bus Fight Club and even the Smiley Foot
Yeah.
stuff. Like he was doing stuff that was almost written for him.
Oh, yeah, well,
But
yeah.
he's-
In
his
Smiley
skill-
Foot, it was.
His skill is way above what people give him credit for, and he just told us this weekend he's just got into another original project.
Yeah.
So
Huh?
I
I'm
don't-
excited
I don't-
about it.
I don't
we were
remember the
talking
name
about
of it, but there's some people I know. My friend Sumo's in the band. You know the guys in Wrath of Typhon, Pantera.
I know the guys in
The
Pantera,
singer
yeah.
in Pantera, Jay, his original project. It's his wife, Rachel.
Oh, okay.
Rachel is an amazing singer who just doesn't do it as often as she should. And this project has a lot of potential.
This isn't Rachel from Sight Unseen.
No, different Rachel. Yeah, they're and Sumo has explained it as stoner doom rock or something like that.
Yeah.
So it could be something, out of the wall, but I think that'll be a good thing. Ken just joined them like this week, so
I remember first time meeting Ken was at a show that we did with Nimrod before you had joined them.
Oh.
And this is
the
when Chad
multiple
was their
tribute
bassist.
bands.
Oh, yep.
So I had met Ken through that band.
Before Nimrod just became Smiley Foot.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Uh,
Eric has a thing.
who all was on the bill? It was at Scott Church's.
Of course, it was.
In the garage.
Okay.
When they were still doing the outdoor garage shows. It was Transylvania, Hot and Dangerous, Nimrod, and Pink Lemons, I think they were called.
Okay.
I don't remember. I'd have to look at the flyer, but yeah, that was like my initial introduction to Ken, and then I think we did one or two other shows like that same month with Nimrod, because I think
Hot and Dangerous, was I there?
No,
I was actually just thinking, was
Yeah.
I there watching?
I
'Cause
think Corey was drumming for them.
Okay, so that would have been like kind of recently? Within the
Yeah,
past
it was
2
within
years or
Yeah, roughly.
Well, it'd have to be because as we discussed.
It would. Oh no. Sorry, it would have been the late September into October of 2019 was when that was,
Pre-COVID.
because it was right before
the
COVID.
dark times.
Yeah.
Before the Empire.
Because it was before everything shut down. Because Transylvania had done like a series of shows in October where we did Scott Church's twice. We did the Lizard Lounge opening for Mark Rizzo of Soulfly.
Oh yes, the Lizard
yeah.
Lounge,
Which was a very
as a former Lebanon
weird,
guy.
weird like show to be added
It's
on.
it was a weird spot because it was
Yeah.
like in theory cool. In theory, it was supposed to be like the stage on her,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
just nobody knew it was there.
Yeah, it was an
That-
interesting show.
that is the bane of what comes from Lebanon. People just don't know there's things there.
Yeah.
I'm curious now to see, because the last show we had done that series was the big autism event, but it was the second one, and I'm not sure if any of your groups had done anything.
The autism benefit.
It was at Racehorse.
Oh well. So that whole thing was partnered with Chelsea, who is Christian's wife. from
Okay.
Gunmetal Gray. So I think
So most likely you were involved in.
yeah,
some point.
Gunmetal Gray might have been involved in it. Enema honestly might have been involved in it at that point.
So the
That's
bands,
a whole nother episode. We'll get you just talking about how cool that band was and how little you got to play.
Well,
the bands that were on that were Killmain Saints, Are We Human, The Dirty Place, Transylvania, The Mosh Fits, Smiley Foot, and Hot and Dangerous.
okay, yeah.
So you might have been drumming with them for Hot and Dangerous for that show.
No, I think I played with Smiley Foot for that show, but I think I came up and played the chain,
Probably.
which I normally did
Well,
whenever
that
I was
makes
there.
sense. That seems to be our go around now. Because of that band, all of us at some point now play that at different shows.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Not even involving them anymore. Like we just have.
We
to
just
do it
have added it to
Yep.
all of our separate
Yep.
repertoires.
Yep, I do it acoustic, and I play it exactly the way Reggie does.
Yep.
Well, tell me about Criminal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Criminal, it's our new song. We released it November 24th, the 25th, something like that. It was recently. But we put that song out. We did a video for it with Josh West, which was a ton of fun. We
Fun
got to-
video, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fun video.
Got to dress up as I got to dress up as a criminal, and the guys in the band got to dress up as FBI agents, chase me around. Matt Fox was our grandma. It was great. It was a good time.
It was. Yeah, it's a very entertaining video. I gotta say, I will say the song is top notch. I mean,
Thank you. Yeah.
I probably have mentioned this to you shortly after it came out, but I've been a fan of your stuff since you were doing your solo stuff.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm wearing my Lyndhurst t-shirt.
Yeah.
Not just for show, folks. I still, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still gonna always think Messy's probably the best you've done this far, and
Yeah.
not because there's any lack of quality in the other stuff. There's something about that song that should last forever.
Yeah.
Not my favorite on that album, by the way. Your first album.
Oh, okay.
Stormy Weather's still
Yeah.
that's my jam. That's the one I got on vinyl. You guys did the vinyl cuts. Like
Yeah.
that lyrically is, I love that song. But Messy has that, why didn't this make you guys famous vibe to me? I
Yeah.
can listen to that song every day if needs be. Criminal has that same like coolness to it, if for lack of a better term. Like there's just, you know how to write a hook, sir.
Yeah.
And I love it.
And that's something like, it's weird because that's something I used to not be good at. And that was, talking about old bands, bored out of our minds. I wrote all the songs for that, or a lot of the songs for that. And I didn't understand how to actually like, because I knew what I liked, but I didn't understand how to like translate that into something good unless I was just completely ripping something off.
Right.
But I think it took me actually going through college and like exploring other different styles of music. And I think just when I joined Gunmetal Gray and I started playing a lot more covers of just music that I didn't listen to all the time, I think that opened my eyes to like what I actually liked about the music. Whether it was, it's not just, oh, it's the guitars in this exact way. That's what I like about the music. Well, no, it's the melody. It's the melody that I really connect with and associate with.
And that comes through in what you write.
Yeah.
For me anyway, and I hope for everyone else.
Yeah. Nowadays, because I mean, I used to, like when I was in high school, I used to start on guitar and write a riff first and then build a whole song around that. Now, most of the times I'll have like a chorus, like the entire chorus melody will come to me, and that's what I'll have first, and then I'll kind of build a song around that. That's definitely what happened with Criminal.
I had to laugh today. I was at work, and we just have Spotify running, and I'll put the daily mix on or whatever. And my daily mix #1 on Spotify, I looked at like some of the artists that were a part of it, and it was like Weezer, Beartooth, ADTR. I was like, yeah, sure, we'll do that one. And it was like halfway through the day, and I was like, whatever fucking song this is great. And it was Criminal, and I didn't realize what it was.
Way to do your homework, sir.
Well, I was working, so I wasn't really like paying attention, and I was like, whatever song this is really good. And then the hook started, and I was like, oh, okay, now I know what song this is.
Yeah. And as Ed and I discussed before we got on air here, and it was all over the social medias today, you had a nice thing happen to you on the radio.
Yeah. So when we were getting ready to release a song, I had reached out to a bunch of people I knew about, getting it on a certain playlist or getting it on the radio or things like that. Yeah, because we know a lot of stations do local shows and things like that. So we reached out to Chris James from 105.7 The X. And I guess I should actually say that he reached out to us when we I had posted something about, the song coming out, and he was like, hey, you guys got to send me that song so we can have it on your 15 Minutes, which is his local show. So I was like, okay, great. So I sent it off to him, and it was on that show when it aired. And ever since then, I keep getting texts and messages and say, hey, I heard your song on the radio. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then we got one, I got one, I guess, a couple days ago now, that was like, hey, I just heard your song on the radio. And I got like 20 of those messages because he played it at like 5 p.m., like prime radio time.
Yep.
Yeah. Which was crazy, like that we're playing regular rotation right now. It's very cool.
Is it surreal a little bit? Like,
oh yeah, because I mean, I grew up listening to 105.7 The
Right.
X. That was like the way that my family bonded was listening to the radio. So it's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a child of the radio too. Of course, it was 80s radio, and it made I've discussed this before. I think that's why I've always felt good in cover bands and doing a ton of different genres and years.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's the stuff I grew up on that same feel. Like one day you're listening to Michael Jackson, next day you're listening to Poison, whatever
Yeah.
it was at the time. Or their country, Eddie Rabbitt comes across. Like
Yeah.
my mom was a big old school country fan, so the radio was always a huge part. And I love that there's satellite, and I love that there's things like Spotify and and YouTube Music and all that. But there's something to be said for the power of radio still. There's still people who that's what they listen to. And having something like the X that plays someone local, that does a local band good, that's a lot of things. Chris James is a good dude. I haven't spoken to him in years, but I met him quite a while back, and great guy. So I'm glad they're running rotations for you.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll be just the next step in the evolution. So
hopefully.
you were saying earlier this will be a 5-song EP. This will be
Yes. So we've got an EP that'll be coming out in January. It's a 5-song EP. It'll have Criminal on it, and it'll have a cover of ours that we always do of Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up."
Excellent cover.
I'm so
too. I love
excited
that.
for that.
I'm very excited for that. I love playing that song live.
I can
and-
tell. Yeah, I
'cause
can still.
we- 'cause
Every
we've
time
been-
you do it, you have fun with
Because
it.
we've been doing it since before we were called Lyndhurst.
Right.
I used to do it when it was just
I
Ed
remember
Allison.
seeing you do it.
I think
Millennium Music or
the
something
very
one time by
first
yourself.
demo of that song I think I recorded in like 2017.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time coming, and it's changed a little bit since then. And then there's going to be 2 more brand new original songs that no one has ever heard before, except maybe you, because I think I played one of them at an acoustic show that you were at.
That's the conversation we had earlier where I thought I heard another
Yeah.
song somewhere. You played an acoustic.
Yeah,
Ha
that-
ha, fools.
That was
Bob wins again.
Fade to Gray, which will be on the new one. Another one, Parasite, which I think is very much in the same vein of Messy, it's the same kind of style. And then we are
Tell me more.
re-recording an old Ed Allison song called Let In, Let Down.
Which is one of my favorites from your old stuff. Which
I do like that.
by the way, another great bunch of songs that, and I knew,
They're okay.
I knew Sorry because of that era, and I'm glad you put that
yeah.
on your first album. But I mean, they're all just, again, go back to it. If anybody wants to go back to that, your stuff's all on Spotify.
Oh,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. So
Go
yeah,
back
all
and
the,
listen
all
to
the Ed Allison stuff.
Ed
is
Allison
still there.
stuff up through the Lyndhurst stuff, and just see the very only a couple years, the quick progression of how
Yeah.
much your songwriting has come, in my opinion. And I like the old stuff, but the new stuff just is better every time.
Yeah, and that's something too that people will be able to hear. Go back and listen to the original Let In, Let Down that came out in like August of 2018,
I was
and
gonna
then
say 2017, 2018,
yeah,
something like that.
and
Yeah,
then this brand new one that'll be coming out.
that's awesome. So,
Yeah.
so you say January
Yes, January 13th.
13th.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not going to get this 2 weeks early, like.
Oh well,
that's a whole
hopefully
side
not.
story.
Yeah, hopefully not.
I love that story because I'm like, man, it's up. I'm gonna listen. I listened to the whole album.
Well, yeah,
and I
you
messaged you, and I'm like, dude, the album sounds great. And you're like, did Tim let you hear it? I'm like, no, man, I've been listening to Spotify for like an hour.
Yep.
And you're like, hold on a second. Been here for you a bit. Tim sends me a message. Hey, man, heard you heard the album. Listen, that was a screw up on somebody's part. Ed's not happy. Please don't tell anybody yet. I'm like, I told my wife. She's been listening to it. Okay, I get it. I understand that. But I was like so ecstatic that it came out like way early, and then I found out you were not. But at the end of the day,
well, so like the whole big reason that I wasn't happy about that was because there's a lot that goes into like tying to a release as far as like getting on things like Spotify playlists and sending out to radio stations and getting press and
there's
all these
logistics to it.
Where
picking. That's why bands pick dates to release things. It's not just hey, you know what I'm
and
going to
you
do
can get
next
everyone
Friday?
to look forward to
Let's
it,
send an album out.
and you can do all that. And I had been planning all of that while this was going, which is why it came out so early, because you start that process like a month and a half, 2 months before all that.
Right. And that was. It was kind of one of those, I'm just sitting in this very room listening, probably playing my PlayStation, having it as background, and then I get the text, Tim's like, don't tell anyone. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, and
this story got interesting?
Yeah, at that point, I was
probably like, why?
I was
so
honestly
good.
considering like totally taking it off of everything and like just redoing it and putting it back up, and that whole process would have been, I think, more hassle than it was really worth, and it ended up working out in the end.
And I think it got out, and it got quickly. And I'm also a big fan. We talk about this a lot, of physical CDs from people, and I was very happy. I came. I don't know what show it might have been one of your acoustic gigs. Like, here you go, man. I'm like, cool because I've maintained this for a while. CDs in my car, my truck's old enough; it still has a CD player, and it sounds so much better than streaming. And I'm so happy to have. And your album has now lived in my 6-disc. Has its permanent spots that I put in there. It lives there with every Beartooth album. So if anybody that knows me knows that's
Good
very
company,
important.
yeah.
So it definitely.
Yeah, and I love because I mean I grew up with CDs
Right.
obviously, but like one of my favorite memories from growing up is getting the CDs and reading everything on them.
Right,
So
the
opening them
Yep,
up and
I did that
yeah,
too.
and seeing and not only just reading the lyrics, but like looking into the background and seeing like who wrote this song,
I love seeing
who
like
produced this,
I
or
used
who,
to read the
who was
thank
the
yous.
guest vocal on
Oh,
this.
I
you know?
loved reading
the
the
thank yous because sometimes they were just the guys were being ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like it was their 4th album, so they're like, "I'm gonna thank my dog's toenails because I've
Yeah.
thanked everyone else 100 times." It just I always a tactile thing.
Yeah.
There's a culture now with streaming that
Yeah,
there's
and-
an age group that doesn't understand like the physical media. Of it.
Yeah, and that's why
sad.
I wanted to do that, and that's why when you get the CD, there's a big booklet that's got all the lyrics in it, all color pictures, and all this and that, and I designed all of that in the inside myself because I loved all that growing up.
Well, that's the way I feel like we're gonna get away from that. But there was people even previous to my age that laid on their bed with an LP. They had their vinyl and the same thing. They had open their reading everything on it. Not all of them were as in depth as when we got cassettes or CDs, but yeah, I miss that days. In fact, I see bands still. Beartooth did it, put out a cassette version of their latest album for the nostalgia of it, and I consider getting it just because not because I'll play the cassette, but unfolding that booklet out of there, the cover of it, and just looking at it. It's a lost art, and I'm glad to see there's still people that understand that and believe that.
Yeah.
So we'll get that in the new one. That EP will be on a physical media, or
Most likely. Yeah.
okay, at least some kind of physical
Yeah. So,
Don't make me
some
what
kind
they
of
used to
physical
call burn a CD. Ed. I don't know if it,
Oh my god!
people are like, "What's that? A flash drive?" No, it's like an actual. disc.
I'm sure I've got like packs of CDRs.
Oh yeah,
sitting in.
I
my-
have
Oh,
a
yeah,
whole spindle in that
absolutely.
cabinet right over there that I'm probably never going to use. But
the amount of slim jewel cases I have of burnt discs with Sharpie written on them of
Yeah.
what's on. I'm almost positive I've got at least 3 that are sitting there that just say Jake's favorite songs. Whatever month I burn the disc in the year.
Yep.
it's a lost art because even now, I mean, I haven't spent any time in an actual good studio in many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
But I think even studios now, if you want to take something home, they're handing you a flash drive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, here you go, man. Most people, depending on what vehicle you're driving, can just go in your car and plug it in.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
Well, I mean, most studios nowadays they'll send you a Dropbox link or Google
Oh, yeah,
Drive
yeah,
link.
you
Like,
get a
oh,
link.
listen to
Yep.
your own phone.
Yep.
Yeah, you let's can talk load it about right there, so. The show you got coming up at HMAC.
Yes.
That apparently we're not allowed to talk about, but this will air after that. I
Oh,
doubt
yeah.
my editing will get done before you get the show, which is a week from now. So
oh, yeah. We can
talk about
that.
whatever you'd like.
So we have a show coming up where there's a Big Pop Punk show happening in the Capitol Room at HMAC with Real Friends and Knuckle Puck. And I can say that because that is happening. That's a thing that's
the
happening.
thing that's happening, yes.
Unrelated, we are playing downstairs at 11:30 p.m. when the show is done. And you're like playing some like fun stuff, and of course our originals too, but to like a bunch of fun covers and stuff. And I will tell this on the podcast because I don't care. When we originally reached out to do that, I won't give specific names, but someone was told by someone in the Real Friends and Knuckle Puck camp that no, you can't do an after party at this venue. And then eventually it came to, oh, well, you can do one. You just can't use the band's name or likeness because they don't want to be associated with it. Which, it's a very weird thing because, like, just recently, and again, I can say this on the podcast because it's all true, From Ashes to New is coming to HMAC.
In fact, I saw just yesterday they added a second show because the first one sold out so fast.
Yeah,
Like
and I believe it's that same week.
It is.
And there is also an after party with my good friends and If Not For Me that are playing downstairs
yes,
after.
my wife is very interested in going to that. So.
Yes. And on that, from it says right on it, From Ashes to New after party. I think it speaks to maybe the care that those the difference level in care that those bands put in,
Yep.
or just I don't know, man.
it seems
it's a very weird situation.
It seems for lack of a better descriptor, it seems very business. It's very cold.
Yes.
Which in the music business seems like that seems like some stuff you see as a stereotype of some 80s record producer kind of guy. Like nowadays and age, music, well, and I'm not saying this to anybody in this room. The three of us have all performed and we're all musicians. Music's supposed to make you feel something. You're supposed to have an experience with it. When you turn into some sort of business where please don't mention our band around your band.
Yeah.
That seems just kind of asinine.
I'm optimistic that they had nothing to do with it and it's all their label. That's my hope.
That's a good that's a good way to approach it. Whether that's the truth or not, maybe you'll never even get an answer. Yeah. But it's a viable way to make yourself not overthink it. Yeah. At least that's how I would be. Yeah. But that does seem kind of please don't speak of us even though we'll be in the same building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds very much like a Gene Simmons kind of thing.
That's what I said to him previously. Were you speaking to Gene Simmons directly?
Yeah.
Listen, man, you can't use our stuff without paying me. But that's fine. They're done now.
Yeah. Are they really?
No.
I saw a post that was like, "Who's placing bets on how long it's going to be till Kiss comes out of retirement?"
It depends.
Did you see this new thing they're doing?
Some virtual. They're going to be a virtual band now.
They did a whole like mocap thing where they performed a show and they're going to make it CGI, and I guess they're going to do like CGI shows.
They're gonna death clock it is what they're gonna do.
They really are.
Just put it up on the screen, have somebody down below you can't see.
Well, really, they're gonna be Hatsune Mikuing it.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Well,
Gene Simmons isn't stupid.
They're gonna AI all their voices and yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't try and like capitalize on that flash in the pan hologram technology when we had like Tupac coming out on stage. Like,
I completely forgot about
that. Was super impressive, but
absolutely,
that's still going on. And it's a lot better than it used to be, but it's all in Japan.
Of course,
like the whole Vocaloid craze. I don't know if you know what those are.
That's not.
They're essentially AI voices before AI voices were a thing, where it's all computerized, it's all digital. So Hatsune Miku is a character. It's an anime character with long blue hair, but her voice is all digital. It's all synthesized. But she is like a pop star in Japan and they like put on Hatsune Miku concerts.
Like a legit pop star that doesn't exist.
Yeah, with holograms, and it's a big thing there.
I saw that in some anime when I was a kid.
Yeah,
they literally made it a real thing.
Don't they have a guitar pedal based off of Hatsune Miku?
Yeah, because now that
it's clearly a big thing.
Kind of,
there's like
it's digital synthesized technology is really.
I forget who makes the pedal
board up.
But it's a standalone pedal. It was a Chapman guitar videos that I watched where they review it, and it's like you play it and it turns your guitar into the voice of Hatsune Miku, and it's the weirdest thing I've seen.
But somebody was dying to buy that.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Like personally, I don't see how I could incorporate that into music. But that's not the style that I listen to.
It's not your style you're listening or writing. It's not right. Unless you're gotten real experimentational or you're trying to write that kind of thing.
Yeah,
that kind of niche stuff only fits for those people. But as you point out, it's a huge brand.
Yeah.
Which is weird that I don't.
Well, and that's
didn't know that
because like I know Hatsune Miku, but like she is like the biggest. Like she's the top level. Kind of thing. When there's so many more. There's so much more that goes on with that kind of thing.
Do you think that's like Japanese for Skynet? Or
I don't know.
Is that the Japanese translation for Skynet? I love Google. Anyway.
I love Google.
I for one am here for our robot overlords. Yes. I hope they're all like Bender from Futurama. Anyway. Kill all humans. Yeah, I wasn't aware that was that big a thing. And, of course, we've had some discussion. In fact, just our last episode, we talked about some AI stuff.
Yeah.
The AI James Hetfield is not only so freakily accurate, but it works on everything they do. And I got to wonder, because anybody who's old enough to remember Metallica and the Napster thing, like, was Hetfield just sitting around just getting really angry every time these came out? Or is he actually laughing? Like, do you think he's him or anybody else, any of these other AI that are people like I see some Taylor Swift ones sometime. She probably hates it. That's just ruining her brand probably, but she's rich enough to do what she wants. Do you think he's at an age or at a time in his career he's like, that's funny? and I'm not gonna, because no one's monetizing it at this point.
Right.
So if someone tries to monetize,
that's not entirely true.
Well,
So there is, and this is something I've done actually. There's a thing called Voicify.ai.
Yes.
Which you can go and you pay like a monthly thing, and then you pay for credits to get celebrity voices, which can be like SpongeBob or something like that, but also like Drake and Ariana Grande.
I thought you were going to say Plankton, because those are my favorites.
Well, yes, Plankton also.
Plankton or Patrick singing things.
Somewhere on my phone is an AI Plankton singing "I'm Sorry for the Way I Am."
Oh my God.
Oh, people, if you could see my face right now.
Oh, I love everything about that.
This was John and I in the studio, just like when we really should have been working, just like how what can we do with this AI thing? and it's wild because it has like a built-in stem separator where you can just feed it the actual song and it'll just take the vocals out, AI them, and then put them back in the song.
I find that crazy. Absolutely fascinating, and there are people out there like it's the end of everything.
It is. And
I get the argument against AI. This comes up because the writer strike and actor strikes that were going on in Hollywood, and AI was a big thing because there's actors going, well, I signed up for this part. They 3D modeled me, and because I got paid and signed off on it, there's no protection, and they can basically drop me in any movie they want, and there's nothing I can do. And I understand that's protecting their craft, because that's, and it's same for vocalists and musicians. That's taking something you worked hard at and made a brand out of, especially Hetfield.
Yeah.
And someone could say, there's a new Metallica song, and this is him singing it. But so far, at least with him, I've only seen fun things and stuff, and that's why I wonder, is there a line where they're like, well, no one's making money off of that?
Well, I mean,
or are they sitting around going, I'm not making money off that? I would hope that at least guys that are at the level he's at now, and I mean, look what they took, a lot of shit for that Napster stuff, a lot.
And as
they thought they were,
as Mark, my drummer, will tell you, they were right.
I don't think they were wrong about what they were saying, because people were getting all their shit for free. I mean, I love Napster. I thought it was the greatest thing I ever saw. I'm like, I can get all this stuff for free. And I understand there's artists, but artists like Metallica make all their money on the road. They're me downloading, Enter Sandman on Napster, or me and 30 million other people, didn't hurt their pockets like it hurt Ed Allison trying to put his first EP out.
Right, yeah.
So, but that shit, what's good for the what's that old saying? Good for the goose, good for the
yeah.
Like I
like
get
maybe
it.
they weren't the perfect voices to talk about it, but they were.
Lars made himself look like an absolute fool. And the memes. Well, it wasn't, memes weren't big then, but there was a couple animated shorts where they made him look like he was like some Neanderthal. Him and Hetfield. I forget who made those, but they were hilarious. But it was still a point.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing with AI is, and you've probably heard this before. Right now is the worst it's ever going to be.
Right.
It's only going to get better, which is it is really concerning. Like, not only from a musician's standpoint, where it is concerning that like you could feed in a couple things to an AI and it'll, here's an entire song's worth of lyrics, or here's an entire song's worth of music. Where they can do that now, and like I said, it's only going to get better. But the real concern is like the whole thing with like deep fakes and all that, and the fact that with enough raw footage of someone or enough clips of their voice like this, I mean, you guys have been talking on a podcast for how long? They can take that, synthesize that, and then make you say whatever they want.
Yep.
Right.
That's where I think things get really concerning.
Well, it's gonna get, and that goes to, I mean, that could come down to, especially with now they can do it, CGI in general and deep fakes is getting, again, just like the AI voices, better and better, almost discernible for some people. Experts can still see it's not perfect, but you could literally pin a crime on someone and have video evidence and their voice.
Yep.
That sounds like some real CSI kind of like TV show shit to say, but there's an extreme version of this that could harm people in a bad way, not just monetarily.
Yeah, I mean,
again, Skynet.
It's 100% real. I mean, I watch Law and Order SVU. It's one of my comfort shows.
And over and over. And
there's
over.
There's an old episode from like 2005 or 2006 where they have an episode about DNA evidence and how oh, there's this doctor who's found a way to spin out the white blood cells of DNA and then put someone else's DNA into blood and do that. And it's like, oh, that's so far fetched.
That's some sci-fi shit on my grounded show, but
but I mean that's the way things are now.
Yeah,
you know, when so much of like what we have or is like what we base our opinions on are like photographs or videos or sound bites, and when they can be recreated so easily out of thin air, that's not to
the revolution will be
doom and gloom on the
digitized.
podcast here, but
No, that's.
But then I will say, like, other ways that AI was used for, I wouldn't say good, but like in a more positive,
Not for evil.
yeah. In a more positive way was recently when that new Beatles song came out.
Yeah, that's
Did
a
you-
perfect
did you-
example of that.
Did you watch the mini like documentary that came out about it?
no, but
I
I
didn't
saw
either.
the video.
They came out with like a 15-minute mini documentary about how the whole thing came to be, and when AI came into it, Peter Jackson is the one that brought it in, which was kind of weird. I don't know. I forget how Peter Jackson got a hold of the initial demo of John Lennon. It was
It's because he did that series on.
oh
Disney Plus
yeah, he
about
did
the Beatles,
the Get Back.
the Get Back thing, series or movie or whatever it was, documentary. And he had access to everything Beatles to do that.
Yeah.
Because a man of his like filmmaking stature would have, if he goes and says, "I want to do this," that's how
it
he
gets
got
done.
it. So he got a hold of that through somebody's archives had that somewhere.
Yeah, because basically the long and short of it is, they had initially gotten this cassette from Yoko of John's vocals and piano just on a cassette, and it was the vocal track of the song Now and Then. Fast forward into mid-90s when George, Paul, and Ringo got back together to finish a couple of these tracks. They started working on it, but they weren't able to mix it correctly because they couldn't lower the piano track from the vocal track. So they just kind of scrapped it. Fast forward now to
15, 20 years.
Yeah, and when Peter Jackson got a hold of it, he was able to use AI to separate the piano from John's vocals and make two completely separate tracks.
And that's what I think that is an example of AI done correctly. Not only was it used to make something that was already there from a guy who's long gone, but the members of his band that are still here were behind it and involved. It wasn't just some guy making money off it. And that's a positive. You're right. That's maybe for good. That's AI for good.
Right.
But that's a fraction.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
what
And I
it's
mean,
used
there's a lot of ways you can use AI for good.
Oh,
And I mean, like the biggest thing for me was ChatGPT, where there's a lot of stuff that ChatGPT can get wrong.
Right.
But like just as like a tool, it's not all bad. It's like any tool, you know, you can use it in good
You
ways
can use
or
it
bad ways.
incorrectly.
But like I put in ChatGPT before about like, hey, you know, what's a good like meal plan for this week that's simple and uses these ingredients that I already have, and it'll send back something that's, you know, most of the time pretty good. Like you can use it to
better your life.
to do that. Or it's like,
ChatGPT is very fun to
or like,
use.
hey, give me a checklist on how to clean a bathroom. You know, like point by point, step by step, all the things you need. It's like, great. Yeah.
Now I've considered, you mentioned a little bit ago about like there's sites that you can use for like, you know, give me some lyrics. Here's some points I want to try.
Mhm.
I've thought, because my songwriting, and I've said this publicly for many, many years, I'm not a great songwriter because I didn't do it enough.
Mhm.
Like it's just not something I've ever focused on. And I've thought a couple times about trying that just to give it some of the ideas I've had that I couldn't put together and see what would come up. And then I never did it because I felt weird about it. Like I've never put in the time to write the songs on my own and make bad songs so I can get the good songs. How dare I go and let the computer do it for me and assume it? But I guess there's probably something to be said for that. I guess there's maybe a market for that for people who just get blocked up. Maybe you need to break you're trying to try something different and you just don't know how to get there. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, and maybe there isn't a right or wrong answer.
I say I have done stuff with that, especially with ChatGPT. Like recently, I'm rewriting lyrics for all of my old Shoes to Fill songs, and I had such a block because I am trying to break away from writing, you know, the sappier kind of lyrics that I've written before.
You're such a sad sack.
I know. And I wanted to write, you know, some other crazy stuff. And I was stuck in, because, you know, fuck it. The spoiler for the one song is called initially called "Suspicious," and it's about aliens. So I was just having aliens. I was having a mental blockade, a writer's block of where to go with the song, and I typed into ChatGPT song lyrics about aliens, and it gave me a whole bunch of different lyrics that I was able to take from and not use word for word, but was able to rephrase it that it was still
pointed
my
you
own.
in the direction. And that's what I think maybe is probably a positive of it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going into it with, I know what my song wants to be, or I know I have a subject I want this song to be about, and everybody writes different. I know that. Everybody has different. Like you said, you write choruses, and maybe that's not what the song started as.
Mm-hmm.
The song lyrically, the song might find itself. I've heard that from, bands that I love. They're like, yeah, I had 7 songs, and they made this one song that was our hit because I found these pieces all kind of fit. When I used to write, I'd write full on. The lyrics were done, chorus, verses, but I was not playing any instruments then, and I had no outlet to get to it. So when I'd bring it to the band, then they'd we got this, this riff or that going. I would start adjusting my stuff to match the music, and there was a long time where I never wrote a song that was what I heard in my head. And I know nobody's songs end up exactly how they're in their head, but mine were never. I would hear all the whole of it in my head while I was writing it, but it never was that song. And I always said, I'm going to get to the point where I can at least write out. Here I am now. I could sit and write, and I don't. So it is what it is. Hey, I want to shift gears quick because I know we are going to definitely get on a time here. This is something we can all talk about because it's the 3 of us in this room are all involved. We've talked about earlier. Christmas is coming. We're in December. Jake has a little pet project we've talked about on our last episode, I believe, about I believe it was our last episode about doing reworking a Christmas song.
Yes.
And having the idea was to have multiple local guys get involved and do vocals on it. I know he's spoken to you about it for sure.
Yep.
So we had just discussed when we were together just last evening that we are getting closer to Christmas, but this is something that can be done probably sooner than later, I hope.
Oh, yeah.
So we can get it out in time. But I haven't talked to you much, Jake, since, other than I know you gave him the track, you gave me the track. Nobody's picked what they're singing yet, I guess.
Yeah.
It's weird. There's like 75 parts in that song. I don't know. But have you talked to anybody else locally that's involved besides 3 of us?
Confirmed? No. I've talked to the 2 Daves that we know.
I don't need your speculation. No. I was just curious if you talked to any of our local friends or not.
I've talked to Dave D and Dave Z. I'll see Dave Z on Friday. I'm getting the days mixed up. I'll see Dave this Friday, so hopefully I'll get an answer from him. Dave D had said he would do it, but haven't really gone anywhere past that. Now it's just a matter of finding.
Well, there was a discussion you and I had. I think initially brought this up about the structure of it, and you went from I have this idea would get local singers to do this to I have this idea maybe we get like local bands, like this section is Gunmetal Gray, this section is Lyndhurst, like have all the guys in a room and do. And you'd said maybe even like the gang vocal parts of that, the chorus vocals, having like all of our friends that aren't necessarily just everybody in a room doing that, that Live Aid kind of thing. I think it's a great idea. I just wonder. I'm starting to worry about time, sir. It is the first week of December. We're about 20 days off from being too late. So
yeah. So initially, that was the thought was to try to get everybody together, but with the time crunch that we have
and the technology we all have, it is very possible for
have.
us all to do this at home, and then you can do all the work.
Oh yeah. I would say
you edit.
I can very much mix and do this stuff at home if I can get tracks from everybody, which is what I think is going to happen in order to meet our time.
We're in a crunch.
We are in a crunch.
So hopefully, and that's why I brought it up, because Ed being here, it's just something, I think it's a really great idea. I would have never really thought about, I know you live for Christmas all year long. I would have never thought about doing that, but what a cool idea to use that song that had so many voices on it. And it just, like I told you recently, it's not necessarily like the favorite Christmas song of all time. In fact, it's kind of dated and a little out of place. Like nobody's really talking about the kids in Africa anymore, even though it's still a problem.
Yeah.
Because there's other stuff we're all worried about.
Yeah.
But it still has a place, and I think it's a cool idea to do. So we definitely need to. Anybody that listens to this episode will probably air a little closer to Christmas than what we want. But hopefully, this is something we'll be able to have going. Yeah. One other thing I did want to do, and unfortunately Ed has been under the weather for the last week or so, or longer, maybe.
Yeah, almost a week and a half now.
So we were
it's
hoping
been
to have
a
you
nightmare.
do an acoustic version on with us of Criminal, which we're not going to do because your voice is. But I would love to still have that.
Yeah.
So we either got to get you back in, or you need to pop one of those off at home one day and send it to me. I would love to have the Nailed It podcast exclusive version of that.
Yeah.
Nailed it unplugged.
Nailed It unplugged. No, that sounds like us doing things. That doesn't work. That's what we get for naming our podcast after our band. But anyway, but I would love to be able to have. Well, I mean, because I like to have things for myself. I like to say I have exclusive things.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can do it. Maybe I'll just pop out to a show one day and we'll.
Yeah. Well, hey, this is coming out closer to Christmas.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not
Perhaps
sick
you're
until then.
Perhaps
so.
you're not sick till then, and we can
Yeah.
add her on.
Yeah.
Get it going. I would love to
Yeah.
be able to. Because I did want to use it. I love the timing of this. We'd wanted to get you on since we first talked about this, and this timing with you releasing the song and the album coming up just seemed perfect. I feel like one of those professionals that gets the guys who are out doing the radio tours. Well, I will say it's been, as you're supposed to say, it's been a pleasure having you with us today, Ed. But we knew that. We could sit and have these conversations without microphones in front of us. We're all
I love you guys.
This is what we do, and this is how it should be. So, and we just have a better time with guests, and why not have guests that have something to say?
Yeah,
right.
we were
That's the
doing
best
this
part.
exact same thing 45 minutes ago while we were waiting for Jake.
While we were waiting for Jake to
I'm
show up,
sorry.
the 45 minutes we lost, and now we have
There
a much
was
shorter episode.
Traffic.
It's fine. It's fine. So I guess we'll wrap it up. So anything you want to promote besides the show, which will be gone
Yeah.
before we air this, but let's say anything in the new year that you know is coming besides the album release. Anything personal or band-wise?
Well, so actually our next single is going to be our cover of Never Gonna Give You Up. And that's going to be coming out December 22nd. Friday, December 22nd.
Awesome.
And then
Merry
the
Christmas.
full EP, which at this point is still not currently named, will be coming out Friday, January 13th with a EP release show happening that Saturday the 14th at Love Drafts with us, obviously, and then it's going to be a couple other bands on there that are... Oh, well, and I keep saying this wrong. The release is the 12th. Friday the 12th. Then Saturday the 13th, we're going to do our EP release gig at Love Drafts with us, Dinosaurs in Paris, Pine Creek Academy, and Blowing Smoke.
I love Dinosaurs in Paris. I'm not afraid to say that.
They're all really
they're
cool
great.
guys, too.
Yeah. I've only really met one or two of them in passing because of you guys introducing, but... Man,
And this will be out
music.
way after this happens, but tomorrow I'm actually going to be filming a video with them. I'm going to be a bowling coach, so that will be fun.
Listen, as a bowling coach, as a former bowling coach, I will judge this.
I desperately, if for no other reason, I almost want to start writing again just so I can make a music video because I've never done it. And you've done
I've always
4 or
wanted to
5
do
of
that
your
too.
own
Yeah,
now.
something like that now.
So, I mean, I just something I love the idea of building that up, the concept up from the ground, which I assume you probably do all the concepts for that stuff.
A lot of them. Yeah, Criminal was nice because we all kind of like did it collaboratively. But
Yeah, I just like the whole idea. I guess it goes back to my art background and like I used to dive deep into like movies and TV stuff, storyboarding, and like it's just something I think would be neat to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have the skills to be the guy on the other side of the camera.
Yeah.
I can never direct a video, but I'd love to get in one.
Yeah,
Ah.
script it out, and then give it to the director and be like, "Here, make this happen."
Do this.
Do this. Show me what you're worth.
Yeah.
What about you, Jake? Anything you gotta throw out?
I'm trying to think. As of right now, the scripting for Mr. Melody number 2 is in process. Still working on the Shoes to Fill EP.
I still need my copy of Mr. Melody 1, by the way.
I
I know.
There's one
I
sitting
saw
nearby.
it sitting there, and I even thought of that like
I
5
gotta get a
minutes
fr-
ago.
I
I was
wanna-
like, son of a bitch, I forgot.
I want to put it up with all the other stuff. I just got to get a comic book size frame.
Yeah, so the Shoes to Fill EP is still in process. Like I said, I'm just writing lyrics because I'm absolute ass at writing lyrics. I can sit down and write songs all day, but when it comes to writing lyrics, absolutely not. That will take longer than writing the song.
That sounds like an album title. Jake Scholl. I'm absolute ass at writing lyrics.
absolute ass at lyrics.
Ass at lyrics. The EP. Yeah.
Other than that, obviously, we have a show December 22nd.
So I know what I'm listening to on the way up.
Mm-hmm.
When we go up to our Sherman's Creek show, I'll be listening to the
Yes.
Lyndhurst EP.
So we have that, and then
Then it's your favorite holiday of all time.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
I'm a big Christmas guy too. We've talked about this.
I
For all the friends of ours that are like diehard Halloween and like, why is Halloween over? Well, because each holiday's supposed to get their own month. Christmas comes in August now, apparently.
Yeah.
It rolls over everything. But I love Christmas. I love this time of year. I love everything about it. Like, I just love I love to sometimes just not be so angry.
Yeah. Christmas was always a great time for me growing up. I was always in bands and choirs and stuff, so I think that was part of it.
Yeah.
Whereas, we did Christmas music all the time, and it was great, and it was cheery, and it was a good time.
I have a limit for Christmas music these days, but I can only because it gets repetitive, not because I don't like it.
Yeah.
But you throw on a Christmas station on Spotify, and within an hour or two of I'm playing it at work all day, I'm like, all right, well, I've heard Little Drummer Boy 7 different ways now.
Yep.
Maybe it's time to change the channel. But I mean, I enjoy just the good vibe of it. So this is a good time of year. Good time of year to give people presents like EPs.
Yeah.
Well, singles.
Yes,
Sorry, not
yes,
EPs.
yes.
Singles.
That's the other thing that I've been working on is because trying to follow the theme of, like I did last year, I released a couple Christmas songs. Aside from the Do They Know It's Christmas, I've been working on other Christmas tunes as well, doing it in the Rocky style that I like to do.
Like in Bullwinkle? Or,
yeah. No,
rock and
Balboa.
roll. Right.
But no, I've been doing Blue Christmas. I wanted to do White Christmas, but there was a new version that Clapton came out with that I was going to do, but he did it before me because I wanted to do.
Damn you, Eric Clapton.
I know. I wanted to do a super bluesy
good.
version of it, and then last year he came
Can't
out
believe
with
he's
one.
still releasing music.
Right?
How dare he?
But
How dare he keep us from getting anything done?
But yeah, I am going to be releasing some more Christmas tunes maybe before it even comes out. We'll put one at the end of one of these episodes, or as a Christmas thing, we'll put it on the Facebook page or something.
I believe we have Ed here for our second last episode of our first season. This will be episode 9. Episode 10 will be our good friend Richard at Twin Dicks Guitars, and I think we're gonna probably do a wrap up, like a quick wrap up show, 2 of us, and maybe we can make that a Christmas treat, or
a little
before
like
New
Christmas
Year's.
mini episode or something.
Hard to believe we did
10 episodes.
10 episodes plus we had a little sidebar with Jimmy.
Yeah, we had that little mini episode, half an episode.
So we I can't believe it. We started one and.
When did we start this show? I don't even remember.
Back in April.
Was it April? I don't even remember.
If we can get away with one a month, if we get a track record going next year,
once a month,
we can plan it out this time. We'll have Ed back.
Yeah.
We'll do the whole band. I'm telling you, I'd love to do a remote and come do the whole band.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do that at your EP release show.
I like this idea.
Maybe we could catch you guys early on, do a little interview before the show starts.
Yeah.
So we don't miss any other bands. Come
Maybe
up early I'm sure you guys have to be there early. I know how bands work.
Yeah.
We can come up, get you guys sit around a table, have a pint.
Yeah.
Talk about. I
Maybe
watched
I
some
could,
British shows. I watched Doctor Who yesterday. Everything's
Yeah.
a pint. That's a good idea. That could be our first show of the new year, Jake. Well, I guess if nobody else said you and I have the same stuff. I of course have show after show after show with Ghostlight, but till this airs, I'll actually be Ghostlight free until the New Year's show will be after this airs.
Hey,
but
you're gonna be all right.
Our New Year's show at Burning Bridge, and I look, man,
we'll be there the night before.
We're
playing New Year's Eve.
I did a personal best of shows this year. As long as nothing in the next 4 shows I have booked for the rest of the year, I did a personal best of 90 shows this year.
Wow.
I started doing solo shows this year. It seems like I've been doing them forever now, but I literally only started doing them in February.
Yeah.
It's been the busiest musical year I've ever had. Ghostlight did, I think Rich and I discussed last time we talked about it, I think 47 to the end of the year is just Ghostlight. So, I enjoy all of this because I'm not young anymore, and I didn't get to do this when I was half this age, like some people in this room. And I'm going to ride the train. If I got 90 shows next year, I got 80, I got 100. I'm going to do them until I can't do them anymore. So
I think my show count for this year by the end of the year is going to be 137 or something like that.
That seems about right. You are constantly, although, sir, that is your chosen profession now.
That's true.
I'm some sort of musical thing.
Yeah, and I'm not including DJ. That's
karaoke.
That's shows.
That's business.
Shows, yeah.
But you also have how many projects?
3.
See, everybody says that to me. They're like, you're like 10 things. I'm like,
currently
technically
there was
3.
There was a point where I was in like 10 things.
Yeah.
But right now I am in Lyndhurst, obviously, which is my passion project. I'm with Gunmetal Gray, who I've been with since 2015, and I'm in Y2 Kids, which is my party band.
Right.
So.
And I same thing. Fell From Zero has been my thing. We're going on in fact, we're doing a 10-year thing with you guys next fall when we hit our actual 10. So I've been doing that for 10 years. We still get a couple shows a year because we're all busy guys, and honestly, the room's dried up for that heavy of the covers we do, even though it's all modern radio stuff. Ghostlight's obviously my number one, and Nailed It is everything I do with an acoustic guitar, whether it's me, the two of us, Dave's involved, the 4-piece. That's my projects anymore. I'm constantly talking old bands. I mean, I played some Johnny Chimpo stuff for you earlier.
Yeah.
Like, if there was a way for the four of us to get back on stage, we'd do it in a heartbeat. But some of those guys, like Brady, don't have time to play with his life as a married man with kids and stuff. And Tim's being monopolized by some other guy.
A kid. Yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah. Apparently Tim's too busy being a bass player in a somewhat successful local band who's on the radio, so that's out. Also,
he's too busy sitting at home on his couch with his dog.
I lie. I have next to nothing. I do have the Breaking Benjamin tribute, which if we play once a year, it's technically still viable, and we played once this year, so we'll try again next year.
I guess that's true. I played with Dynamo once this year.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's all. We should have an episode where we just sit around and talk about tribute bands, because you and I have done a couple. But you more than me.
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, I did Enema, I did Nimrod, I filled in with Stricken.
Didn't you do like a one-off Fall Out Boy thing?
Oh God, I forgot about that. Yeah, our Laura made us change the name of this band so we wouldn't get sued. That was all Ken's idea.
Well, I guess that's probably it. So, episode 9 in the books. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy holidays.
And one more time for our good friend Ed Allison of Lyndhurst and many other things, but most importantly, Lyndhurst.
Yeah.
New music coming soon. Criminal's out now.
Yeah.
Stream it wherever you can get it. I'm sure it's on Spotify and Apple and YouTube and now 105.7 The X. Thank you, Chris James.
Thanks, Chris James.
We like free plugs too. That's promotions are good. I guess that's going to be it. So I'm Bob.
I'm Jake.
That's Ed.
Hey.
And we were Nailed the Podcast. Later.
Nailed it.
Oh, fuck it. Here it is. Criminal on the Nailed It Podcast.
Was I thinking I never live up to expectations? I'm always taking more than I'm given. I can't resist any more temptations in my head. Feeling dead, like I'm falling backwards endlessly. Gotta hold on to what's left. Is there anything? Punishment in my head, I'm drowning in the feeling that I finally might become the person taking innocence right away from everything. Hold me now, I'm reeling. Pull me past this fear that I can't wait to leave this. Hold me now, I'm letting go. Myself up from thinking that I could be the